Russell Westbrook is one of the best point guards to ever play the game, but the crazy part is how he was more of a shooting guard coming into the league and grew into one of the best point guards ever. We're going to discuss how and why this happened. Hi, I'm Anthony Goods, the Stanford gentleman turned NBA scout, and if you got a second, please hit the like and the subscribe button. Your support is very much appreciated. And today I want to take you on the journey of the evolution of one of the most electrifying players we've ever seen, Russell Westbrook. From his early days in UCLA to becoming one of the most feared point guards in NBA history. Westbrook's journey is one of perseverance, mentality, and unmatched work ethic. Let's dive in. Back in college, I had a unique experience of playing against Russell Westbrook. At the time, he was more of a shooting guard at UCLA. He was my matchup at shooting guard when we used to have our battles against the Bruins, but Darren Carlesimo played the majority of minutes at point guard. But things changed when Darren suffered a knee injury and Russell Westbrook slid over to the point guard position. The team continued to win. Westbrook had highlight dunks almost every other game, and you could see that he had a talent that we hadn't seen before. Even in our head-to-head matchups against UCLA, I used to hate when Westbrook would guard me. He had long arms, he had quick feet, and he always had this intensity about playing defense. That shift not only elevated UCLA, but also started shaping Westbrook into the player we'd later see dominating the NBA. Even going into the draft, there were question marks. Could Westbrook truly run a team? Did he have the decision-making skills necessary to thrive as a point guard? What wasn't in doubt was his elite athleticism and his competitiveness, qualities that would soon silence the skeptics.
Are you more of a point guard than you got to show at UCLA? I mean, that's kind of the concern about you, right?
I mean, nah, I don't think so. That's a concern, the media and stuff have, but that's not a concern for me at all.
You could hear Russ's unwavering confidence, which is without a doubt one of the most necessary skills to become dominant in the NBA, especially during the point guard era. Fast forward to the 2008 NBA draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder took a chance on Westbrook with the 4th overall pick. It was thought to be a risky decision because not everybody thought his game would translate and he'd be able to become a point guard. But this is where Thunder assistant GM at the time, Troy Weaver, pushed extremely hard for OKC to draft Westbrook at 4. Now let's hold on a minute and let's keep this in mind. The Thunder are drafting Westbrook at 4. This wasn't a mid to late first round pick. You can get some picks wrong, but when you're picking that top 4, that's a pick that can get everybody fired if you pick the wrong guy. So there was a lot of pressure to get this pick right.
And I remember debating with Sam and Troy and those guys a lot, and Scotty, and I said, big guys don't come around. We're not going to get a guy like this. This is a 10, 12-year starter. Put him with Kevin. I mean, we're halfway home already. We got 2 of the best young bigs in the league. And Sam, I remember saying to me, and again, it wasn't like it was cut and dry. There's no way we're considering him. We went back and forth, and I remember Sam's words, Sam Presti, like it was yesterday. He said, you know what scares me? He said, I just think this kid can be so special that if we don't take him, we're making a mistake. Almost like Michael Jordan, Bowie, back then, like it's not just that he's good, he's going to be transcendent good.
Early in his career, he showed flashes of brilliance at the point guard position. His speed and explosiveness created constant mismatches, and his ability to attack the rim was unparalleled. But what set him apart was his relentless drive to improve. You could see in his first 3 seasons, he improved in almost every major statistical category. The risk was looking like a prophetic selection. And after that 3rd season is where Russ and I reunited at OKC's training camp in 2011, where I was able to see up close and personal what made Russ great. Before we go deeper into this topic, let me tell you that testing my skills on PrizePicks this football season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you had a skill, you could turn $10 to $1,000 in just a few taps. On Monday Night Football, I'm rolling with the Vikings, so I'm going with Jordan Addison to get more than 55 yards and Sam Darnold to get more than 255. If both of these hit, I can win 3 times my investment. Simple, easy, and it makes NFL Sunday a little more fun. And if you're going to play daily fantasy sports anyway, why not use my promo code? Go to prizepicks.com/agoods24 and use promo code agoods24 for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/agoods24. Daily fantasy sports made easy. That year, I was in training camp the entire time and was unfortunately the last man cut before the season started. The most important thing that experience showed me was how Russell and Kevin Durant worked every single day. I didn't have a car, so somebody from the team would pick me up from the hotel. And every day I would arrive for breakfast, Russ or KD would be the only players in the gym getting shots up. In practices, I saw the qualities that made him elite. It wasn't just his speed or athleticism, it was his ability to create advantages and force defensive rotations with his relentless attacking style. Aside from the experience of seeing how hard he went in practice and how athletic he was, his work ethic is what was so impressive to me. You could tell he knew the game. I remember there was a time when I asked him a question about some pick and roll reads during one of the scrimmages, and he always had an answer. And you always hear players talk about how Russ was a great teammate, and though I wasn't there the entire season, during my time at OKC, Russ was extremely helpful, whatever I needed on or off the court. You know, he made me feel comfortable there, as well as like other players. You could tell he wasn't too big to talk to anybody that was on the team. That year they went on to the NBA Finals and the rest was history. It was kind of dope to be able to see where it all started in training camp and where they finished that season, man. That was a special team. Now here's a fun fact. Russ is known to be arguably the most athletic point guard in NBA history. But what's crazy to me personally is how he got more athletic once he got to the league. Russ always had bounce, but he wasn't that bouncy when he entered into the league. If you look at his combine numbers, he tested with a 36-inch vertical, which is modest at best. And you can see how many players ahead of him we know for sure are less athletic. So the question is, how did he become more athletic once he got into the league? I ended up learning a piece to that answer. I'll never forget one offseason when I was still playing overseas. I scheduled a workout at the Los Angeles sand dunes at one of the earliest slots available. When I arrived, there was Russ, already wrapping up his workout at 6:45 a.m. We spoke for about 15 minutes and he told me in the offseason he comes to the sand dunes almost every day that he can. I was shocked, but it all made sense. That's why he was who he was, and he was so explosive. On top of that, I spoke to a lot of other people that knew him a lot more closely, and they said he eats extremely well, he never drinks, and he takes amazing care of his body. All that seems to check out because I'm not sure from an energy and endurance standpoint you can name any other player that exerts more effort than Russ in the last 15 years. That's the thing about Westbrook. His work ethic is legendary. It's not just talent. It's the hours he puts in when no one is watching that made him great.
How many similarities do you see between you and Russell Westbrook?
A ton. I mean, I didn't smile much on the court either, but he plays the game with such an energy and such an aggressiveness. I think it needs to be appreciated. It needs to be appreciated. I mean, he's not out there trying to be cute with the basketball. He's not out there trying to make friends. I mean, these guys are playing hard every time down. It takes a lot of energy to be able to do that, and he just never seems to run out of it.
Even Kobe Bryant recognized Westbrook's mentality, saying we're a lot alike. Kobe wasn't one willing to hand out compliments. Russ earned that from him. Playing with that kind of energy every night is something that anybody in theory can do, but it's hardly done by anybody. Let's not forget that Russ did something no other point guard has done. He averaged a triple-double for an entire season, and not just once, but multiple times. That level of production requires incredible effort, IQ, and physical endurance. He wasn't just stuffing the stat sheet. He was putting his team in the best position to win. People can see it as stat padding, but you still have to go out and use that energy to collect all those stats on nights you don't feel good or maybe don't want to play. Now that I'm a scout, I often think about how OKC saw what Russ was going to become. Yes, he has elite speed and athleticism, but the passing, the court vision, the IQ to force rotations, like these are things that you have to learn. In every draft, we have a number of combo guards that come in. They didn't shoot the three well. They need to improve their shooting. And you're trying to force a shooting guard to become a point guard, and it just doesn't happen, even though they're athletic. So I wonder what made Russ different. Maybe it was Russ's mentality, the relentless drive to outwork and outcompete everyone. Maybe that's what solidified his place amongst the greats. What do you think is the reason Russ was able to transition into being a point guard and become one of the greatest point guards of all time? Let me know in the comments. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please stay tuned. We got more heat coming your way. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Make sure those notifications are turned on, and I'll catch y'all on the next video. And as always, keep shooting, and I'll keep scouting.